welcome to the second part in learning the CAGED system, which leads to complete chord knowledge. I want to assume that you've watched the first video, or that at least you know off by heart the C, the A, the G, the E and the D chords. So what we're going to do now, looking at is in the second part, we're going to look at the C chord and we're going to learn the variations of the C chord. So holding down that C, if we add our little finger to the third fret of the third string, obviously missing that bottom E string out, it gives us a C7 chord, which obviously sounds bluesy. If we take our little finger off and we take our first finger off, we have a C major 7, like that. Major 7 chords always have like a dreamy sound to me. If we put our little finger on the third fret of the second string, we now have a C added 9. Sometimes C added 9 is played like that, but relating to that C shape, we can see how we can get all them different variations on that one chord. So to reiterate, we've got C, C7, C major 7, C added 9. So we should practice that through. Now moving on to A. If we take our ring finger off, we have an A7. Again, it's got a bluesy sound. Putting our ring finger back, we're going to take our little finger off and put our first finger down on the first fret of the second string. And we now have an A minor. Holding down that A minor, if we take our ring finger off, we have an A minor 7. So to practice that through, we have A, A7, ring finger back down, little finger off, first finger, first fret of the second string, A minor, ring finger off, A minor 7. We then come to our G chord and the different variations on that. To make this easier to understand and see how everything relates to G here, I'm going to do a cheat G chord by putting my first finger on the third fret of the first string. I'm going to hook my thumb over on the third fret of the sixth string and mute the A string. So this is just to make things easier to see, because we don't really believe in cheating. So we've got a G, move our first finger down, we have a G major 7, first finger down again, we have a G7, take our first finger off, we have a G6. So G, G major 7, G7, G6. The correct fingerings for them is G, which we looked at in the first video, G major 7, that's the correct fingering. So we're managing to play the second fret of the A string in the correct fingering from a G7 as first finger on the first fret of the first string, middle finger, second fret of the fifth string, ring finger on the third fret of the sixth string. That's the correct fingering for a G7, and we can take our first finger off for a G6. We now come to E. If we take our ring finger off, we have an E7. Put our ring finger back down, take our first finger off, we have an E minor. Take our ring finger off, we have an E minor 7. So we have an E, ring finger off, E7, ring finger back down, first finger off, E minor, ring finger off, E-7. We come now to D. If we turn this shape upside down, as it were, so we're moving this note down to here, we have to change our fingers around, but we have a D7, like that. We go back to the D chord, we're going to move our first finger to the first fret of the first string, and we're going to move our middle finger to where the first finger just came from, on the second fret of the third string, and we have a D minor, like that. We're then going to take our ring finger off, and then we're going to lie our first finger across the first frets of the first and second strings for a D-7. Like that. So we have a D, a D7, a D minor, and a D-7. So to practice this, we start off with our C chord. Little finger down on the third fret of the third string for a C7 chord. We take our little finger off and our first finger off for a Cmaj7. We're going to put our little finger down on the third fret of the second string for a CAGED9. We're then going to move to A. We take our ring finger off for an A7. Ring finger down, little finger off, first finger down on the first fret of the second string for an A minor, ring finger off for an A-7. We're then going to do G, Gmaj7, G7, G6, or if we do it the cheat way, G, Gmaj7, G7, G6. We then come to E, ring finger off for an E7, ring finger back down, first finger off for an E minor, ring finger off, E-7. We then come to D, turn it upside down for a D7. We have a D minor, ring finger off, first finger across the first and second strings of the first fret for a D-7. Like that. If we practice that each day, just running through, even if it's just once a day, we should eventually be able to memorise all 20 chords, which will stand us instead for part 3 of the CAGED system. So as always, thank you for watching.